Say hi.
Hi.
So, in the previous video for planets and remedies part 1, we discussed Sun, Saturn, Rahu, and Jupiter, and basic lifestyle changes we can make in our daily life to make it more beneficial for us. So, without further ado, let's get into the rest of the planets now. If you haven't watched that video, I'm gonna link it. So please have a watch. And let's get into today's video. Today, first, let's discuss Mercury. How does Mercury affect us? What does Mercury stand for? What does it mean or represent in our lives? And what we can do to make it better for us?
Mercury is one of those benefic planets that modern astrologers still consider benefic, although there are some difference in opinion in terms of is Mercury always truly a benefic or not. But Mercury is all about the way you think, your intellect, the way you challenge your mind to do something that you traditionally don't do with your mind, right? For example, solving puzzles, learning something new that challenges your mind. All that is Mercury energy, right? So it could be as simple as you've seen these old couples, they sit and do crosswords in the morning, or the youngsters do a lot of Sudoku as well, right? Not generalizing here, but then that's a very good way to strengthen your Mercury and the way you think, because it's the way you keep your brain active at the end of the day, right? That really matters and keeps that Mercury energy in check in everything you do. So solving puzzles, taking time to spend time to do things that challenge your mind, your brain, and the way you think is a brilliant way to keep that Mercury energy in check. Um, and I've seen a lot of people get a lot of results when they try to tap into that Mercury energy, when they try to solve a lot of different challenges in a day, right? So another way to look at it is in corporate, when you try to be the problem fixer, or the person who's trying to find a solution to problems in general, right? Having that attitude itself strengthens the Mercury energy in your life. So it's not always about if you find people who are cribbing, complaining, and generally very demotivated in terms of what they're doing in life, right? That's usually when Mercury energy is kind of low in their system. It's Mercury is all about taking that next best action in your life, right? How do you get out or step out of your comfort zone, or a challenge that you've been placed under, and try to get to a point where you can actually solve that challenge or that problem in your life, whether it's work, whether it's relationships, whether it's family, it doesn't matter. But that's the kind of energy that you want Mercury to solve in your life.
Would you say like something about taking the initiative, or does that fall under leadership?
It's a mix, right? But then more than taking the initiative, right, it's the person
Solving problems.
who gives the recommendation to solve something,
Okay.
right? Usually people who are good at say a sport like chess, right,
Hmm.
have a very strong Mercury, because it challenges the way you think, right? Even if you take a sport, there'll be one very strategic or thinker than a tactical player in that team. Those are folks that have a good Mercury energy
Makes
in
sense.
them. So if you don't have that, the ideal way is to hone that skill and take effort, because inherently you may not be able to come and give a solution, but then ask your colleague, ask your friends what a good solution could be, and then offer that as a solution to the challenge or the problem or that you're facing within your life or within your work or wherever, right? That's a very good way to solve that conflict that can arise through Mercury energy.
Okay, perfect. Then let's move on to Venus. What does Venus represent? Venus represents a lot of nice things, I know that. And like money, love, and all that, right? Isn't it? Because I don't know much about it, but yeah, that. So, how can we strengthen our Venus? How can we make more out of it? Like the Venus span is also quite a long time in everybody's chart, right? So putting all that together, how can we make the most?
So Venus is considered as a benefic planet
Hmm.
in the Navagraha system. Um, it's interesting because Jupiter is a guru.
Hmm.
Venus is also a guru, because if you have, I mean, if you look at it from a Purana standpoint, you've got Brihaspati, who is the teacher of the Devas, that is associated with Jupiter. So it's a lot of dharmic teaching that comes through the Brihaspati energy, or the from the Puranas. But then when you look at Venus, it is the Shukracharya from the Puranas that you would associate Venus with, who is also the guru of the Asuras, right? So, but then there's a lot of teaching that comes into play, right? So, not getting into the story within the Puranas about Shukracharya and Brahaspati here, but Venus is a teacher, right, and a very benefic teacher. But the teachings of Venus are very different from the teachings of Jupiter,
Jupiter.
right? Because Jupiter is all about doing things very dharmically, very with always being truthful, always being straight about what you do when you do any activity in your life. Venus is about doing the same job but quicker, doing it. I won't call it uh, slyly, but then there's always a quicker path to doing what you're doing, which is not traditional, right?
Okay.
um, a very good example is when you look at say Jupiter from a spirituality standpoint.
Okay.
Jupiter is all about doing, I mean, whether it's doing stuff through Vedas or homas or whatever, very dharmically in terms of being able to achieve a greater spiritual goal. But Venus is all about doing things that are quicker. For example, Tantra, right, is a very Venusian practice, right? Because you are then doing something to achieve the same goal, but using a very different path that is quicker and gives you results sooner, right? So it's a very different kind of energy, but then it's very benefic as well, right? Um, Venus is all about luxury.
Hmm.
It's all about doing things that create pleasure in your life, right? So it's all about folks eating a lot of things that are typically sweet and typically things that are not very healthy as well, right? But you'd want a balanced Venus in your life. So controlling your diet is a very interesting way of controlling Venus in your life. You don't want a lot of I mean, a lot of goodness that is not good for your health as well, right? So controlling your diet in a way that you can have sweet and all the luxuries in life, right? Drink if you want, if you drink, but then it's about controlling and having a balance and having that in control. So when you decide not to have something sweet, you know when to stop. When you feel you're having too much to drink, you know when to stop, and so on and so forth. So controlling that urge to overindulge is a very good way to tap into that Venus energy. um, Venus is also about luxuries, right? But then there's also a way to not undermine Venus in your life as well. um, a lot of people love branded stuff, whether it's your Gucci's or your Louis Vuittons and stuff like that, right? And that actually enhances Venus in your life because it's all about high end luxury, brand value kind of stuff that then strengthens the Venus in your life. But there's also a downside, right? People end up buying fake bags, fake watches, and stuff like that are rip-offs of the original brand, right? Never do that, because you're better off buying a low value watch than buying a fake branded watch, right? And speaking about watches, watches are really important from a Venus standpoint. Always wearing a manual watch enhances the Venus energy in your life. Watches and even perfumes for that matter.
Hmm.
And wearing a good perfume, when I say good perfume, it need not be expensive, but it should not be a fake perfume, right?
Okay.
So wearing a good perfume, something that enhances the way you live, right, are all ways to tap into that Venus energy. And most importantly, Venus is also your spouse, right? Especially for a man, it's the woman in their life, right? So taking care of your wife is a very good way of uh, ensuring that the Venus energy within your life has a good balance and creates a lot of harmony in your life, not creating the negatives that Venus can bring into your life as well.
Yeah, because talking about that, I did see a few content creators putting up videos where you have it. I know it sounds ridiculous. It was about buy your wife fun things. Oh, your Venus will be very happy. It will bring you more wealth. And then there was one particular thing you need to. I know you need to press your wife's feet. Oh, that'll strengthen your Venus. Now I don't know. I'm literally asking you for clarification. Is this real at all? I mean, it does fall into the category of whatever you just spoke. But yeah, is that a way to do it? I mean, just basically keeping your wife happy. Is it like? I mean, what about the other side? What about keeping the husband happy? Husband is not Venus, is it? Is it just the wife?
So when specific to Venus, right? Venus has got a lot. I mean, a lot of iconography and a lot of Puranas have a lot of stories around the association of the Venusian energy with, say, the feet, right?
Oh.
And hence, so I'm not dismissing what other content creators are creating. There is merit to that, but again, it's again how overboard you go with some of these lifestyle changes, right? Massaging your spouse's feet is not bad at all.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
Yeah, and it's definitely a way to tap into that Venusian energy, right? But I think, I mean, it's not about always thinking of, hey, if I press my wife's feet,
Will I get
then
money?
I start getting money. That's not the idea here. When we spoke in the last video, we spoke about having a balanced multivitamin for your life, right? So consider this as one of those practices that creates a balanced energy within your life itself.
Yeah, sounds good. I kind of like it.
And to your other point, for the man in your life, right?
Yeah.
The man is usually considered as a Jupiter for a female, right? So for if the spouse, if the wife wants to strengthen the Jupiter in their chart, a good way is to press the or massage the man's feet, right?
Husband's feet. There's
Husband's
a
feet,
lot of
right?
give and take in this. It's quite nice.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
and
basic.
yeah.
It actually does restore, like you said, basic harmony, peace, calm, all that in your life, and then things might just flow. It makes very good sense. It's not rubbish at all. I mean, nobody can deny it.
Yeah.
It's basic good energy in the house.
But one thing about Venus, right? It's again a lot of people. I mean, they get into a lot of trends online, and they want to live somebody else's lifestyle, which they can't afford, right? And what happens is you start doing things that are not good for the Venusian energy in your life, which is like, for example, buying fake products, using fake perfumes, carrying fake handbags
To keep up
to
with
keep
some
up with
sort
some
of.
style, right? That is actually very detrimental because it's you're spoiling the Venus energy in your life.
Okay.
You'd rather buy stuff that you can afford, and it need not be a massive brand, right? But a good watch that is probably 100 rupees is better than buying 100 rupee fake watch and wearing that, right?
I agree.
So that's the way to think about this.
Quite interesting. This is fun. Let's discuss what's next. What is next? Moon. Yeah, let's discuss moon. Moon is quite controversial. It's got many positives and negatives. I'm familiar with the negatives. So, yeah, can you explain
So the
how
moon,
to keep the moon happy? What can we do? Please, we need this.
the moon is what you would say your mind, right? And it's an area that many people typically struggle with, right? Because if you see, right, social media is not easy on the mind. Kids' attention span is quite deteriorating, right? Because they can't keep. I mean, they're so used to Snapchat and TikTok kind style or Instagram style videos where you just swipe and move on after a few seconds. So that is not helping the moon energy in your life, because moon is about keeping the mind calm and not hyperactive, right? And it's okay to be hyperactive once in a while because you need that balance, but then you can't have your mind always hyperactive, and that kind of is affecting one's moon energy in their charts. So especially, I mean, we did speak about Rahu in the previous video, right? And one thing is, Rahu is a lot of content like social media and stuff like that. That's why when you see when people undergo dashas of Moon and Rahu, it's a very very difficult phase in their lives, right? Again, one thing is social media is not bad. Social media is always good if used in the right way, right? So sometimes a detox from a lot of content that triggers you, stimulates you, mostly overstimulates you, right?
Yeah.
It could be in the form of social media, it could be in the form of even relationships, right? Because sometimes relationships are quite triggering, and that can then trigger stuff in your mind as well, right? So having clear boundaries, having setting clear ways in which you operate in a day is a good way to clear your mind, right? Because for example, if you say, hey, from some 7 a.m. to 8 p.m., this is what I'm going to do, your mind is focused to do only that and not do 10
Yeah.
different things. So having a good tight schedule, which is quite similar to what I said on Saturn as well, but that helps calm the mind, right? And that's a very good way to calm the moon in general. The moon is also got. I mean, whatever we have in our body is mostly water, right? And if you see the way the moon pulls the way the sea during tides, that's the same way. Very symbolically, you can call the way the moon has an impact on our lives as well. Uh, so a very good moon remedy is to essentially keep yourself hydrated,
Ah,
right?
that's easy.
And it's a very good lifestyle change as well, right? Whether you believe in Vedic astrology or not, staying hydrated is a very very good remedy for moon in general. The moon is your mother figure in your life as well, right? So it's important that you're able to respect the mother and take care of your mother, because that then strengthens the moon energy in your life, or even a motherly figure in your life, right? That's more than enough to strengthen that moon energy in your chart.
Hmm. Stay hydrated. That's very easy. But yeah,
But how many people do it,
that's right. That's how
right?
much it's overlooked,
Yeah.
right? That's brilliant. Yeah. Moon is very sensitive. And it makes sense because during full moon people go crazy, or people are, when I say crazy, it's about people being more angry, more emotional, more upset, or more happy. All that
Yeah.
pertains to what you just spoke about, right? It's pretty cool. Next, let's discuss Ketu. What is Ketu? What does it represent? What can we do?
I think the previous video we spoke about
Yeah.
Ketu being associated with the southern node of the moon. It's again a Chayagraha, right? Which is more of an axis more than anything else. You can't see Ketu in the sky, right? Um, Again, I also spoke about in how in the Puranas you've got Rahu, that is the head of the snake, and Ketu is the tail of the snake, right? So when you talk about the tail of the snake, it's quite evident, right? There's no head, but then you've got a big tail there, right?
So it's only the tail, no
It's only the
head.
tail, no
Okay.
head. So what happens is that there's a lot of ambition because the tail is used to move, right? Yeah,
Direction.
there is a lot of direction in terms of being wanting to go from one place to the other, but then the head is missing, so it doesn't know where to go,
Yeah.
right? So that is essentially the Ketu energy in your life, right? Because sometimes you are without a head, but you want to go somewhere, and then you keep wondering where to go, right? That is why you will find a very strong Ketu energy or in charts of people who are researchers, or people who are into investigative things, right? It could be detectives, or somewhere where you need to really dig deeper into what is reality, right? You'll find a lot of very spiritual people with a very strong Ketu as well, because there's a lot of pursuit of understanding your inner self and things like that, right?
Oh.
So whether it's philosophical or whether it is science or research, you'll find a lot of people with very good strong Ketu in their chart. It's quite a feared Mahadasha,
Yeah.
because it's quite against what you would do in your worldly life, right? Which is, hey, I want to get a job, I want a better salary, I want to get married, I want to do this, that, have kids, whatever, right? But then the moment you go undergo a Ketu Mahadasha, uh, you you'll end up doing a lot of things that don't make any sense by the end of the Ketu Mahadasha. And it doesn't give you the result that you really want, right? At the speed in which you want as well. and then you'll end up doing a lot of things that probably don't make any sense to you later in life, right? That is what Ketu Mahadashas typically are. So getting back to our topic, right? Ketu energy is all about understanding yourself better. The way you understand yourself better need not be only through spirituality, right? Some people have a journal. They write every day, whatever they feel, what they see. They're trying to self introspect what they are doing. Some people get and I mean, suddenly have the urge to study a new subject that they probably never thought about studying or researching throughout their life. That is very strong Ketu energy. Same way, spending time by yourself. So Ketu is all about detachment as well, right? So detaching yourself from what you do in life, right? Whether it is taking maybe a half an hour break to go for a walk by yourself, or just spending half an hour to read something, or research something, or study something, is tapping into that Ketu energy and balancing that Ketu energy in your life. So my take on Ketu is, you need Ketu in your life, right? It's not something that you get scared of and not focus, but then you need to be able to channel that energy in the right way, so that it helps you and helps you progress on certain things in your life. So whether it's studying something, picking up some skill that you've never learned before, right? And something that only you can practice every day. Like, you don't need 10 people to do that, right? For example, if you take a sport, you need 5 6 people to be able to play that sport with you. That is not Ketu energy. Ketu energy is like saying suddenly learning to play the violin or keyboard or whatever, right?
By yourself.
By yourself, because you need to practice put hours and hours together to be able to practice and understand that, and develop that skill. So that's where that is Ketu energy for you, and that's where you'll have to spend time to tap into.
Yeah, but Ketu is very scary, because so many people associate it with, when they say detachment, they'll just detach with their family, go to the Himalayas and sit and pray. Or Ketu is even something they um, associate with the ultimate end and all
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So it's a bit scary, and it's a little uncomfortable thinking of it, but maybe it's not that bad, right?
It's not bad, and everybody's got Ketu in their life in some
Yeah.
shape or form. It's about tapping the positives of that Ketu energy, right? Because then again, you're trying to create the balance in your life. So if you tap into the positives, then it's going to always help, right? A very strong Ketu is when somebody, like you said, right, decides to detach themselves from everything in the world and become a sannyasi or whatever, right? That is the extreme case of Ketu, right? And somebody with absolutely no Ketu energy in their life is somebody who is completely into worldly stuff, right?
That's not good
Which
too.
is not good too as well, right? You need to have that balance. So to get that balance, you need to be able to do these small things that, again, lifestyle changes that help you get that balanced outlook with Ketu.
Yeah, that makes sense. What are we left with? We are left with just Mars. Mars, I know, is a fiery. Fiery, is it? No, it's not. No, that's Mercury. Mars, what does it represent? What does it do? What can we do? Same thing.
So Mars is aggression,
Aggression. Yeah,
right?
sorry, that's what I meant, not fiery.
So aggression could be good and bad, right? Because a boxer needs aggression to punch the opponent, right? Without aggression, the boxer will fail. But then you want the boxer to get out of the match and be a normal human, right? Not be aggressive throughout the person's life. So you want aggression, but then you want aggression that you can control, right? Aggression is not bad. Aggression is also passion, right? Because you might want to be quite aggressive to pursue your dream, right? To become, I don't know, a civil servant or a doctor or whatever, right? So you need to have the passion and aggression in you to prepare, study for an exam, go write the exam, fail the exam, come back and again study and then get what you want, right?
Not give up.
Not give up. That aggression that you have within you is a Martian energy, right? So again, Mars is again sometimes seen as a negative planet, right? A malefic planet. But again, it is a malefic planet if it is not utilized in the right way. So Mars is very commonly associated with blood, right? So blood donation is a brilliant way to keep the Mars energy in your body checked, right? Because think about this way: once you donate blood, you're doing it for a very good cause, and guess what? Your body then regenerates blood within you, right? So it's a new form of energy that is then coming back into your body, right?
Okay.
So donation of blood is a brilliant way, especially because Mars is always related to debt in your life.
Also, don't
Right.
go around donating blood based on your health conditions. This is not a video for that. We are just saying what it
Yeah.
means or what it does.
Yeah, if you can't do it, don't do it,
Yeah, don't
right?
do
But
it,
then
please.
it's what the idea of Mars is in
Right.
general.
Yeah.
Now
Debt.
debt is always associated with Mars, right? So donating stuff that can get rid of, I mean, donating stuff to people who can't afford something is a good way to repay your debt in a different form,
Okay.
right? So donation doesn't always have to be with money. It could be your time, your expertise, and don't worry about how much you want to donate here, right? Even a little goes quite far based on the means you have. There's a very famous story of Sudama and Krishna in the Bhagavatam. Uh, Sudama does not have a lot of money, right? He's very poor. But then even that one grain that he offers that his family can not eat that evening, right? He offers that one grain or one bowl of whatever to Shri Krishna, and what essentially happens is that he's blessed,
Yeah.
right? So donation goes a long way. So you need not be donating something specific with respect to money. It could be your time, your effort, your thinking uh, that can help somebody else do better, right? So donation is a brilliant way to tackle that Martian energy. Even donating to armed forces, right, is a brilliant way to tackle that Mars energy as well in your life. Uh, I said Mars is always related to blood, right? So how do you pump that blood and keep that quite active in your life?
Workout.
Workout, right? So hitting the gym, doing HIIT kind of workouts, so that really push the blood in your body. That is a brilliant way to keep that Martian energy in check. Now, I did speak again. There's a way to look at this, right? If you see what all I spoke about in the last couple of videos, we spoke about taking small walks, doing some deep breathing. Again, it's about keeping everything in a balance in a day, right? You probably do 10 minutes of deep breathing, you do 10 minutes of slow walk, but then 10 minutes of HIIT, whatever, right? You don't need to overdo any of these things.
That's right.
The idea is to have a routine in your life which helps Saturn in your life. Stay hydrated, which what Moon does. Develop some skills, right? Because that is what Sun wants you to do. The more skills you develop from a leadership standpoint, that really helps the way Sun looks into your life. And all these things are ways to tap in the various planets that we've got.
Keep your brain active. Everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? It's nice. It's nice. It's very. Sounds easy, but it almost is impossible with all the things happening in our lives these days. But
So think about it this way, right? You'll always say, hey, uh, there are two people with similar circumstances, right? But then you'll say, hey, this person seems to be doing things with ease, right? Nothing comes easy.
nothing.
There needs to be a routine, a
Discipline.
discipline, a practice that you
That's right.
follow. Again, need not be spiritual in any way, right? It's about building that, being aware of what you're trying to do at the end of the day, and doing that correctly, right? And that is what helps in balancing all these energy forms.
That's nice. So these were just lifestyle changes, what you have to do on a daily basis to keep things going smooth. But there are spiritual ways in terms of shlokas, mantras, practices, pujas. There are other ways as well, which
Of
we
course.
haven't at all discussed in this. So let us know if you're interested, because that's a whole other
Absolutely. Yeah.
thing, right? Because that
Yeah.
that's got its own benefits. That I mean, a little about that,
Yeah.
because that is for people who believe in those practices, and that is also another topic we can get into if you're interested. So please let me
Yeah,
know.
one thing I'll add is, right, when you talk about shlokas or pujas or whatever, right, that is almost like outsourcing, which is easier to do, right? Because you go to a temple or you go to wherever, right, and you say, hey, do this for me. You've got somebody to do it for you, right? It's the easier way out. What we discussed in the last two videos is actually the tougher things to do,
Right, exactly, I agree.
right?
Yeah, that's what I mean. So if there is any interest there, we'll get into that topic later.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Anything else? Are we done here?
I think so.
Yeah, we're done. Okay. Bye.
Bye bye.